I was a first-generation college student, so I didn't have a lot of direction. So I chose WT because that's where my two best girlfriends were going. I remember getting into nursing school. It was quite challenging at the time because the program was incredibly competitive, and there was not yet an established, okay, if you don't get in this year, what are you gonna do next year? And I was like, this doesn't work for me. And so I remember having the conversation with my dad, and he's like, so what are you gonna do? I said, I'm going to talk to the president. He's like, of the university? Well, Dr. Thompson at the time took my appointment graciously, and so they let me in. I didn't have to go through a repeat on the application process, but I don't know whether it was they thought, man, she's crazy, get her out of here, or if they thought, man, that's the kind of person that I want advocating for me at the bedside. And the program was tough. And so whenever they say that it is excellence redefined, they mean it. It is excellence, and there were no give-me's. And then you forge some friendships when you're in the trenches, all-night study halls, bringing snacks, just trying to get through care plans and figuring things out, figuring out life, and understanding that now you've got not only your life that you're responsible for, but lives of others that you're taking care of. So big responsibility, and that's really where community for WT came alive for me. I think that the core of nursing is being empathetic, learning, listening, constantly challenging, but being an advocate. So speaking for those that may not be able to speak for themselves. I started off as a labor and delivery nurse at Northwest Texas Healthcare System, and then went back and got my master's through WT, and it was through that administrative tract that I became very involved in the business side of things.
And I thought that's where that empathy, that true authentic love, that real sincere nursing spirit came into play, and that's just who she is.
People always is kind of how her leadership style works, and I think that comes from her nursing background.
You know, she even segued her nursing into her job at Bell Helicopter, which is kind of unusual.
Quickly knew that bedside nursing wasn't where I wanted to be for the entirety of my career, and so whenever I went back to school, found that I really enjoyed marrying both the application part, but as well as the leadership part. So then you fast forward whenever Bell grew to the point that they needed somebody for their environmental health and safety department. I mean, ultimately that was my path into Bell, and the timing was great for me personally at the time. And so I came out, made the move for health and safety. And then just over the years, my roles have grown and expanded.
Since she walked into Bell, she is absolutely tenacious in her ability to problem solve and attack issues.
She's an incredible leader, and I think Bell's very fortunate to have her.
Sonja's the top leader in one of the largest employers in Amarillo, huge government and defense contractor. Not to mention all of her other accomplishments.
I'm responsible for the strategy and the collaboration to ensure that we have all the support organizations and everything that manufacturing and operations need to ensure that we can successfully assemble and deliver aircraft to our customer.
You know, 1,600 people at the Amarillo facility, and we were probably some of maybe 20 or 30 women.
Just to see her take on a position in a man's world, in a coveted man's position that had always been that way, I think it gives a lot of women encouragement. And I think anytime a woman that I admire takes on a leadership role at that level, it just makes me want to stand up a little straighter.
There are absolutely differences for a woman in leadership, and I found that to be true early on. Leading with grit and grace is very important to me, but I also feel like it's my opportunity to give back and to pour into other women.
Sonja has really found this balance of being at the top of her field, but also helping others get there and serving as a mentor to people. And that's probably how I knew her first, as a mentor, and she's since become such a good friend. We have this friend group, and we call it LBH, which stands for Ladies of Bell Helicopter.
People could see our calendars, and we wanted people to think we were actually doing official business, and we kind of were. So we started calling it LBH, and it just stuck.
I think that service has just been a part of who I've always been. I know growing up in a small town, you serve others. It's very fulfilling to be able to give back.
You look at how many boards she serves with, how many different committees she's been a part of her time here in the Panhandle.
When you watch her volunteer for an event, she's all in, she's 100%. She gives it everything she has.
We are such a giving community. I've done some great work with the Laura W. Bush Institute for Women's Health, Emerald Area Foundation, High Plains Food Bank, Story Bridge. I love being involved with West Texas A&M Foundation. One of the things that is critically important to us, and certainly here at Bell, we want to do everything that we can to encourage people to not only go to WT, which we love and we're invested in, but to stay local. Because that just continues to compound our impact here in the Emerald Canyon region.
The fact that she stayed here and she believes in this community and she still believes in all the organizations that she's involved in, I just think that that's important, and that's one of the things that makes her a great alumni.
And I think she represents not just Canadian, but the Panhandle spirit. And I think she is a true testament to what it means to be a leader in the Panhandle.
She's a part of so many organizations. But on top of that, and I didn't realize until today, she'd been appointed by Governor Abbott to be part of the Aerospace and Aviation Committee for the state of Texas. That's huge.
So I love the opportunity to not only represent Bell, but represent women and being able to, again, represent the Texas Panhandle. Having rural Texas representation is going to be critical as we as a state continue to evolve and develop.
She's just a wonderful human being, and I think everyone wants her to be a part of their organization, or at least to be in your circle.
She wants to see other people succeed. It's at her core, like what she believes in and what she values, and I think, it's very, very close to just what the Panhandle and WT are all about, and I think that's really special.
It usually starts with education. It starts with the lessons learned through great faculty. She's probably taken that and implemented a lot of those things she's learned through WT into this community as well as here at Bell.
And when Dr. Windler called and said, "Hey, you've been nominated," I was like, "That's so kind." And then he continued and said, "And you've been selected." To be real honest, it was overwhelming.
I'm surprised it's taken WT this long to recognize Sonja.
If every alumni that receives this award has had the path and is as good as Sonja is, then WT is turning out a heck of a lot of good alumni.
I just guess I kind of would like to be inside her head a little bit, because I'm infatuated with who she is, and I think she's a wonderful selection for this award. She will forever be a cheerleader for WT.
To be recognized by the institution that really gave me my start, that aligns with my values, is incredibly impactful.